What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Root. So this is part 6 of the Metal Gear Solid VR missions playthrough. So in this particular episode we wrap up the main version of the playthrough of this particular game, which actually turned out to be a lot shorter than I was initially expecting. I really thought that this particular game was going to last. Like initially when I bought this game I thought it was going to wind up having at least 100 missions in the sneaking missions, but really this particular, it's not to say that this game is lazy, it's not a terrible game within the pitch, but it is kind of a misnomer within the fashion. When it says that there's 300 missions in this game, that's relative within the pitch because a lot of these are just timed missions and then just doing it with some sort of other kind of like variable as far as this pitch can happen. It's not actually like there's 300 different missions every single time. Like just the fact that the sneaking missions have 15 missions and then they multiply it by 60 by having like this differential type things. You can do these same sneaking missions with the SOCOM gun, and then you can do time attack with the SOCOM gun, and then you can do regular time attack distance sneaking missions. So it's not really authentically 60 missions. I feel like they kind of took like the kind of sneaky way out with like the facet of really labeling it that way. It's not to say like it's a full bound kind of trap or just something just like paltry, but it's just the pitch as far as saying I really think that there's a true meat to this game as far as being able to say that there could have been some real vicious facets that this game probably could have done that a lot more. Now there is a sequel to this game in like a relative sense. It came out for the PlayStation 2. There's a game called Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance, which I did not play that game back in the day. I do own somewhere around the household. I have Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, but I never really got around to Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance. So I look after, I want to say that's the same sort of stuff as this particular game, just an expansion pack to that, but I just question the bonus stuff that they did with it, because this really had like some classic appeal. I was really thinking here that this was going to be something that was going to be, when I bought this game, I was thinking that there was going to be like 100 sneak missions kind of within the facet. Like there's like a particular kind of Mario ROM hack, which I do recommend it to say within a fashion. I remember watching it way back in like 2013, 2014. There's like a particular kind of puzzle Kaizo Mario ROM hack as far as what's going to happen. So it's basically just the fashion of getting like a puzzle Mario game where it's more about trying to solve what to do with like the mechanics of like a puzzle game more so than just trying to get to the end of the stage like a normal Mario game. I really felt like the mechanics of that's definitely something I feel like within the fashion that Nintendo definitely should have bought the license to. I mean, the likelihood of that ever happening, of them purchasing the licensing rights to like a fan-made game, is never going to happen, considering how you probably know at this stage folks like Nintendo kind of hate those particular products of like fan-made games. But it's just in the pitch as far as saying it was a real original concept. When I saw that, like I forget what its full, I can't remember the full bound name. If you want to check out that game and play through it or something like that, I don't know if I would ever do that particular game within the pitch, because I sincerely doubt I'd be able to beat Kaizo games. It may not even be Kaizo, but it's some sort of puzzle Mario. It's basically a Mario game based upon the puzzle element. It's just kind of the pitch, and that's kind of what I saw in this particular game, just getting a puzzle element here. It's real stylistic flair to be able to have it, just having like the sneak missions. I definitely feel like they could have maximized these qualities here, just being able to do it. I definitely feel like within the aspect of it that more than likely they could have made like at least another 35 or 40 type ones. Just looking by like the ramps on this where you can actually go up a level, I feel like there probably could have been some moments where you could have had like a floor 1 and a floor 2, just other pitches like that. Just judging by this one stage here, there just was so much more to this particular game that probably could have happened, to where there probably could have been at least another 15 or 25 more missions just like some of these that could have really gone bananas with as far as those aspects can happen. But it's not like, I'm not like superbly kind of peeved about it, but it's just kind of the pitch as far as saying it is kind of like a relative, it's a disappointment. Whereas if there would have been 100 missions in this particular game of the sneak missions, I might have given this game like a 9 or a 10 out of 10, something within that fashion as far as saying like the credibility and the overall quality of it. But this would probably for me just be more of like a rental nowadays. I just would say I would probably just rent it, and if I realized before purchasing this game that there was only going to be so many. And another thing to kind of add as insult to injury is just the fact that 10 out of 15 of these sneaking missions here are just in the original Metal Gear Solid game. So it's just kind of the fashion as far as saying if you buy the original Metal Gear Solid for the PlayStation 1, you can play like 2/3 of the sneak missions that are in this, that I particularly did in this playthrough, just by owning that game. So it kind of defeats the purpose of even purchasing this game unless you want just basically a mere 5 extra ones. Kind of a vast disappointment, but I look after it, you could say, what's my beef with like the weapons missions? I don't know. I feel like this is a good aspect here. I feel like they had a real good theme going with this particular fair as far as these pitches gonna happen. This is real kind of nail biting. Just keeps you on the edge of your seat. Just kind of the concept of really going through a bag of popcorn or several bags of nachos. Some of those type pitches. Just eating a whole family size, of Doritos. Getting some of those type ones. The Cool Ranch, the nacho cheese. Some of those type ones. The other type bags within pitches like that. But I just look after here just being able to basically say is it's kind of the concept. I mean, there's a lot of PlayStation games I've been trying to find and stuff just within those aspects as far as being able to say this kind of putting more elements, not just on like the concept of you lose, you die type pitches within the aspect of it, trying to have some other formats to kind of get more incentive to play the game. I look after it. I mean, I realize that this is kind of espionage within pitch, but I just look at the format as far as saying this is a good type fair to be able to have like some other moments just for like not just, if you can't beat the boss, you can't beat the game or something. It's just kind of pitch that there was like a certain kind of original factor with the create. There was a certain kind of original factor with like the incentive to kind of play this game. So it's just it just was something that had the appetite kind of going with the pitch. I appreciated that concept. I look after it. Same sort of pitch. I mean, I've been finding other PlayStation 1 games. It's kind of how Tomb Raider is. It's not really so much like a full bound. I mean, I realize that there's going to be boss characters in that game. Pitches like that are probably going to be real annoying, but I'll probably get back to that one soon enough. That's probably the next game I'm going to fire up here. But yeah, for what it is, this whole playthrough is like basically like a little bit less than an hour. I'd say probably like 56, 58 minutes, somewhere in there, something within the aspect of it. If I ever really do, I mean, I might do like a weapons mission 1 or 2, something like that, but it's very unlikely I'd be able to beat the game. But within pitch, this is the playthrough as far as what's first going to happen. So enjoy, replay it just a bunch, and have some fun with it, folks. I definitely have to say here.